welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my October book haul for you. Now, I knew this one was going to be a big one just because it's my birthday month, and I knew that I was going to be purchasing books for myself. But this one got a little out of hand. So not only did I buy books for myself, but I actually had a lot of kind friends send me books too. And then I kind of accidentally took part in the Target book sale that they were having, and so this book haul got a bit massive. But that's okay because it's October and it's my birthday month and I had to treat myself, so it's worth it. So, and especially because at this point for the month of October, I'm almost at the rate of a book a day. I'm not finishing a book every single day, but for some reason, because I've been reading a Kindle book, an audiobook, and trying to fit in physical books, I'm getting through books a lot faster. So I'm at average of a book a day for October. So I feel like it at least makes up for this monstrosity. So let's just dive in. So the first one I'm really excited to share with you. This is a book that I got sent by the author, and that is In the Heart of Paradise by Jamie McGillan. This is the third book in her Mount Rainier series. Now, she was originally going to come out with a whole ton more for this series, but it sounds like after this book, she's going to take a little break from the series, write something else, and eventually come back to this series. So I'm a little bummed about that, but this comes out, I want to say November 2nd or 3rd. I'm blanking all of a sudden. I want to say 2nd because 2nd is a Tuesday. So I'm really excited for this one. I will be reading it. It came in the cutest package. It came with a little letter. It came with presents to open on certain pages. I'm super excited to be part of this launch team because this series is just such a good series. It's apparently kind of written YA, but she's an adult in this book, so it kind of as she said, it's going to start as a YA series that kind of grows into kind of an adult series. I don't know. It's just one of those books that I just love. It's a historical fiction about a woman who is set on summiting Mount Rainier, and that was not something that was normal for that time period, and I love the series, and these covers are absolutely stunning. So thank you so much, Jamie, for sending this to me, and I cannot wait to read this one ASAP. Then we're going to go to more books that friends sent me. So we're going to start with, let's see, Kendra. She hasn't filmed in a long time, but Kendra from Kendra Loves Reads sent me 2 books. She sent me The Perfect Family by Robin Harding. It's funny because I feel I have a love-hate relationship with Robin Harding. I've only read 2 of her books. One of them was fantastic and the other one was not. So I feel I've been really nervous to continue reading her books, which doesn't make any sense since there was one that I really enjoyed. And it was actually the newest of the 2, so clearly she got better. But this is her most recent one, which means I still need to get the swap, but this is her most recent one, and this one is about people who are, I think it's somebody who's envious of their neighbors. These neighbors are the perfect family, and then things start to happen, and it looks like there's some violence, and the family is keeping a secret. I don't really know too much about it. Thrillers, I tend to try not to know much. I just saw Robin Harding and instantly added it to my wish list. So I got this from Kendra, and then I also got The Weekend by Kara Thomas from Kendra. Kendra Thomas wrote The Cheerleaders, which I used to own. I think I may have gotten rid of it. But I had been seeing really great things about this one over on Instagram. Janelle, from what she sees, really liked it, so I was oh, I need to give this one a try. Ooh! Where'd that come from? Oh, you know what? This is my gift card from my husband. My husband also gave me a lovely Barnes & Noble gift card. So, yeah. So we've got That Weekend. I think it's about a bunch of people who go away for the weekend to a lake house, and then basically no one comes back except this one girl, and she doesn't really have any memories of the weekend, so I'm excited to give this one a try. And then we've got from Amber Eats Books. She sent me Namesake by Adrienne Young. This is the sequel to Fable, and I really enjoyed Fable, so I'm really excited to give this one a try. It kind of has this like piratey feel of a girl who used to be on the sea with her dad, and one day he like leaves her on this like dangerous island, and he kind of tells her like, if you can never make your way back to me, like you'll get your inheritance. So she finds her way off the island trying to get to him in the first book. So I'm excited to see how this one continues. I listened to the first one on audio, so I may try to find this one on audio to listen to, but I like that it's a duology. I like that once I'm done with this one, it will be a done complete story. So thank you so much to Amber for that one. And then Carrie sent me The Air He Breathes by Brittany C. Cherry. I love Brittany C. Cherry's writing. I tend to read a lot of her books on Kindle Unlimited, so I really only own one other book by her because I tend to read her books on Kindle Unlimited. But I'm really excited to have this one on my shelf because I love her books. They are tearjerkers. I almost always cry when I read her books, so I'm excited to see what this one is like. I don't know if it's a standalone or if it belongs to a series, but I'm excited for this one. Then Jen from Reading with Pugs was kind enough to also send me a book, and she sent me The Death of Jane Lawrence by Caitlin Starling. And this one is something that is completely out of my comfort zone. I opened it and I was like, what is that? Like, I've never seen this book before, and it's so funny because after that I've seen it in like 6 videos. So I know it's definitely a book that is up and coming in popularity, but I had never heard of it. And it sounds like it's kind of a gothic story where this woman is supposed to marry this guy, and she like shows up and he's not the way she expected him to be. I don't know. I'm kind of terrified of it, but I'm going to give it a try because Jen recommended it, so I'm going to try it, but I'm slightly terrified. And then for my birthday, I was like, this was before any of these showed up, so I had no idea these were coming. I was like, I'm going to treat myself to books because normally people don't buy me books for my birthday, so I'm going to buy myself some. And I had a gift card that I had received from my students at the end of the last school year that I never spent, so I was like, I'm going to spend it on myself and I'm going to buy some books. And that way I don't have to feel guilty about spending money on myself because it was a gift card. And so I bought 5 books. I think I got 6 books actually. I accidentally ordered 2 of the Charm Offensive, which was like weird. Might as well start with that one. I accidentally ordered 2 of these, so I ended up returning one. So I probably could have gotten another book from my whatever, but I was like, it's not a big deal. So I ended up getting the Charm Offensive by Allison Catrone. I don't know how this ended up in my cart twice, so that was like the strangest thing about it. But this is a like love story. I believe these 2 men meet on the set of kind of like this like bachelor show. One of them is the bachelor and one of them is like the guy who like works behind the scenes, and I think the bachelor like doesn't realize he's gay, or like he's trying to like force a relationship with a woman. I'm not positive. But these 2 end up connecting and it's their love story. I'm really excited to read this one. I'm hoping to get to this one in November because I've heard nothing but amazing things about it. So I'm excited to have this one. I ended up purchasing How to Catch a Queen by Alyssa Cole because I did buy, and well, I didn't buy, I won the second book in the series, so I was like, I need to have the first book in the series. This is a spin-off series to the Reluctant Royals series, which I loved. So I'm really excited to give this spin-off series a try. I just like love these covers. They're just so bright and engaging, and I'm excited to see what this series has in store. If it's anything like the first series, I know that I'm going to be in for a treat. Then this was like I don't want to say it's random, but it feels very random, and that is Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. I had only heard of this one really, like I had seen it around, but like wasn't really sparking my interest. But then I saw Riley from Riley Marie Reads reading it, and it's weird because I don't always love her book recommendations. I always get really excited for them, and then I read them, and I don't tend to like them. But I have a feeling like this one's going to be different. This is about a girl, and I believe she falls in love with a werewolf, and I think she's a witch, and he's a werewolf, and he is, like, stuck where he, like, can't shift or something like that, and I think we have, like, the inner monologue of his werewolf that's inside and him talking at the same time. I've heard it's really funny. I hope it's good. I was hoping to get to it before this month was over, but I've been really terrible at reading physically just because my brain has been shot. I've been going through a lot at work, and so by the time I get home, I really can't focus on like holding a book. Like I could scroll through a Kindle book, I could listen to an audiobook, but for some reason that like picking up a book physically has been really, really difficult for me this month and last month. So I'm hoping that I will get to this one soon. But it might just wait till next Halloween at this rate. I don't know. And then I got this chunky book, The Island Queen by Vanessa Riley. This book is so chunky. I almost pre-ordered this one. It came out in July, and then I just never did. And so I was like, this is my chance. I'm going to pick it up. And it's a historical fiction novel, but it's based on Dorothy Kirwan Thomas, which was a free woman of color who rose from slavery to become one of the most powerful landowners and wealthiest in the West Indies. So I'm excited to give it a try. I love historical fiction, so I figured this one would be a good one to pick up. I'm just really intimidated by the fact that it feels ginormous. I think the pages, oh no, it's 570 pages. No, never mind. It is a big chunk. It is as chunky as it looks, guys. Well, actually, that's an author's note, so it's actually like 557-ish pages, but I'll get to it, right? And then I grabbed How to Kill Your Best Friend by Lexi Elliott. I've been seeing this one also all over Instagram, and I believe it's these two friends, like, they have always been friends, and then they go to a resort, and then there's some danger that lurks there. If you suspected your best friend, the person you were closest to in the whole world, was a murderer, what would you do? Would you confront her? Would you help keep her secret? Or would you begin to feel afraid? Most importantly, why don't you feel safe now that she's dead? It just sounds so good. Just sounds so good. And then the last one that I purchased for myself for my birthday was The Royals Next Door by Karina Halley. I have been looking forward to this book for a really long time as well. I almost pre-ordered this one, and then I didn't. So I figured this would be my chance to grab it. It's apparently somebody who has a prince and princess who basically move next door, and they bring their bodyguard with them, and the bodyguard is really handsome. It just sounded really cute, and I'm like obsessed with this cover. So, and if you've been following me for a while, I really like royalty stories. I love like contemporary royalty stories, so I'm excited to hopefully give this one a try very soon. Now, a book that I bought at complete random. It wasn't for my birthday. It wasn't for anything in particular. I was purchasing some leotards for Sydney for dance because we bought her some before dance had started. They were a little bit too big. And so I remembered the day before dance class that I needed new leotards, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So I ordered on Amazon, and it was like that, like same day delivery, but in order to get the same day delivery, you needed at least $35 in your cart. So I put a book in there. This book pushed me way over $35, but I don't care. It was one of those things where I was at work while I was doing it too, so I was like, I don't have time to nickel and dime things, I just need to throw something in. So I ended up throwing in The Last Guess by J.P. Pamari. I had seen this one on Instagram. I feel like the title of this should be like, Instagram made me do it. I had seen it on Instagram, and it was just one of those books that I read the synopsis and I instantly just like had to have it. It's about this married couple, and they have a lake house, and they don't make it out there as often as I would like to, so they have been renting it out, and something happens, and secrets and drama, and I had to have it. The person who was recommending it also really said that this is like one of their favorite authors, and I was like, I gotta give it a try now. I just have to. So I ended up picking it up. I'm hoping that like this is one of those books that like I buy and then I almost immediately read. So I'm really hoping that in November, once I get through like my spooky books that I've been wanting to get to, I can hopefully get to this one. I had 2 pre-orders this month. I ended up pre-ordering Denise Hunter's The Riverbed Gap. This is the first book in her new Riverbed romance series. Obviously, if you've been following me for a long time, you know Denise Hunter is one of my favorite authors. I love her books. So when I knew she was coming out with a new series, I had to pre-order it. So I immediately had to grab it. Like, look at this cover. It's so stunning. So the last book she came out with was a standalone. This is a series, so I'm excited to dive into something else. And I just saw that she already has like released the title of the next one, so I better get moving on this one. I did see, I think my Hoopla app has this on audio, so this just might happen in November on audio. Then the other book I pre-ordered was In Another Light by A.J. Banner. I really enjoy A.J. Banner's books. She writes thriller novels. She writes really short thriller novels. I ended up already reading this one over on Kindle Unlimited, even though I clearly own it as well. This is her newest book. It's following a woman who works at a funeral home. She kind of is the person who like remakes the face and things so that way it's good to go for funerals. And her husband and her husband is dead and she's kind of been like grieving him, but then she goes to do somebody's body and it kind of sparks this thing in her to start digging into things because she thinks that there's some more secrets out there. I wasn't as thrilled with this one as I've liked her other books. I think I am kind of the unpopular opinion in this one because I've seen a lot of 4 or 5-star reviews for this one. I wasn't that big of a fan of it, but I still love her as a book, as an author, so like I'll keep reading her books, obviously, but this one just didn't click as much as I wanted to. Not a wrap-up, so you'll see more of my thoughts on that one in an upcoming wrap-up, but there was that. And then I have my 3 books from Book of the Month. It was my birthday month, so one of my add-ons was free, which is always the best feeling ever because I'm a Book of the Month BFF. I always leave my referral link for Book of the Month down below because it's one of my absolute favorite services, so definitely check that out if you're interested. I think you get your first book for $5. You can't pass up a brand new hardcover book for $5. So if you're interested in Book of the Month, please try it down below. These are the books that I got this month. I ended up grabbing the X Hex by Aaron Sterling. This is another one of those books that I almost pre-ordered and then I didn't because then I heard that it was potentially going to be a Book of the Month choice. So I held off and I'm so glad that I did because now I have a Book of the Month edition. This is also, Aaron Sterling is actually Rachel Hawkins, which I love Rachel Hawkins books. So I was really excited for that. I'm about halfway through this. So hopefully once I'm done filming this, my plan is to sit down and try to finish this. This is following a, witch, and when she is 19 she kind of gets scorned by this guy, and her cousin kind of like, or sister, kind of make this like fake hex of like, oh, I hate you, and then they accidentally put like a curse on him, and now it's like years later and he's coming back to where they are because he's got to do this like ritual thing for his family, and his magic starts kind of going awry and he realizes that he's cursed. So they kind of reconnect and it's going to be their romance story, and it's been a lot of fun so far and I'm excited to finish this one out today. And then I also got The Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman. I'm also hoping to finish this one before the month is over, but that's a big, tall order at the rate I've been reading physically. This is the newest book in the Practical Magic series. This is the last and final book in the series. So this one technically, so if you go in chronological order, this is the like last one. This one would come after that, the original Practical Magic. So I do want to read this one before I finally get to watch the Practical Magic movie because I don't want to like blur the two together because I've never seen the movie, so I didn't want to like blur storylines. So I really wanted to get to this one so I could watch Practical Magic, so hopefully that'll happen soon. Then the last one I got for Book of the Month was Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Bart. I don't know much about it other than it's a thriller novel. And it says, one night changed everything. And I don't really know anything else about it. It was just one of those things where I was like, I need a third book. This is a thriller. I'm going to throw it in. So hopefully it's good. I haven't seen much about it one way or the other. So hopefully it's a good one. And then I accidentally took part in the Target buy two get one free sale twice. So the first time was kind of like on purpose, where I was like, I feel the need to participate in this book sale. What can I do that makes this worth it? And I decided to do it with a book that I've already read. So that way, technically, I got the book that I've already read for free because I needed it for my collection. And that way I didn't feel like I was like paying for it twice. So I read it originally on Kindle Unlimited, so that's why I had already read it. But that is Inside of the Mountain by Jamie McKillen. So obviously I just got sent the third book. She sent me the second book. I didn't own the first one because I read it on Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, this is my chance to buy it without feeling like I'm actually buying it. So this is the first book in the series. We already talked about it. Girl Who Wants to Summit Mount Rainier. I don't need to say any more than that. So then the other two books that I got to make this deal worth it, I ended up grabbing Such a Quiet Place by Megan Miranda. I have been not avoiding this book, but I like to buy Megan Miranda's books as paperbacks because my entire Megan Miranda book collection is paperbacks. But within the last few years, it's been difficult because I have to wait the full year before they come out with the paperback. And I'm just tired of waiting. I'm tired of seeing everybody reading it and knowing that I can't read it for another year, and that's silly. So I decided to just suck it up, and now the one great thing is every time she comes out with a new book, I could just immediately buy it now because I already have one hardcover. Might as well make the rest hardcover. I believe this is just another one of those neighborhood whodunits, which you can't go wrong with that. I've seen really great things about this one. I know Lala from Books and Lala's really enjoyed it. Kendra really enjoyed it. So, like, I have high hopes for this one. And then I got The Invisible Husband of Frick Island by Colleen Oakley. When this one was first announced and talked about, I was like, I don't care about this one. It was like about a woman who like is convinced her husband's alive even though he's dead, and everybody kind of like goes along with it. Like almost reminds me of like 50 First Dates. And I was like, I don't really want that. That sounds so stupid. But then I read, oh, why can't I say it? I just put it away. You Were There Too. I just read that one this month, and I loved it. And I was like, I need to try her again. So I immediately knew that I needed to get her newest book, so I had to grab this one. And then, like I said, I've been having a lot of hard struggles with my mental state this month. I've started therapy this month. I've had a lot going on in my personal life. I am pregnant, and I've also got a lot of stuff going on at work. And we're still in a pandemic, so my brain was just kind of shot. I ended up taking a mental health day at one point this month because I needed to reset my brain and reset my mind. And while I was home, I was like, don't do it, don't therapy shop, don't therapy shop, don't therapy shop, and I therapy shopped. I don't regret it, though. As much as I like sound like I'm complaining about it, I'm not complaining about it. So I grabbed 3 more books from the sale because you know what? I read as much as I do anyways. It's not like these books are going to go unread forever. So I decided to grab them, especially because you can't beat it. Like, but with the sale, and then I happened to forget that I also still had a $10 gift card to Target. So I ended up paying like $12 per book, and they're hardcover brand new releases. Like, you can't beat that. You can't beat that, especially when you're an avid reader like me. Like, that's so silly. So I ended up giving into The View Was Exhausting by Michaela Clements and Anjuli Dada. I don't know, it's in cursive. Well, not that it's in cursive, but it's also like weird font. And Julie Dada, yeah. So this one was a book that has been on my radar for a while, actually. I've almost picked it up. Like, I've held it in stores a couple times and then put it back down. I don't know why, but this one just sounded really good where it's, like, a bunch of, like, A-listers, like, they, like, kind of fake a relationship and then things happen. This just sounded like one of those completely, like, good, like, guilty pleasure, like, the 7.5, not 7.5 Deaths, the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Like, it just, like, felt like one of those, like, Hollywood drama, like, I could just, like, get away for a while. It does take place in, like, 3 different locations or something like that. It sounded like something that would be just, like, a great escape. So I'm excited to have that one. Then I ended up grabbing We Are Not Like Them by Christina Pride and Joe Piazza. I had never heard of this one. That was like the one fun thing was I like just let myself scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll through all of the Target books and just like look at synopsises and decide if I wanted them. So like it wasn't even necessarily like books that like had been on my radar, and this one was not on my radar at all. This is following a Black and white woman who are friends, and then one day something tragic happens. One of them is a reporter. The other woman's husband is a cop, and the cop shoots and kills someone, and then it kind of really tests their friendship. And I just felt like that sounded really intense and really interesting, and I really wanted to give it a try. So I'm glad that I ended up picking this one up. I love the cover. It's gorgeous. So I'm excited for this one. And then the other completely random purchase, I'm really excited for it now, but this is The Last Guest by Tess Little, which is really funny because I think I got something else called Guest. Yeah, The Last Guests. This is The Last Guest with no S. But this was compared to, you guessed it, Agatha Christie, so I had to get it. It says, the glamorous dinner in the Hollywood Hills ends with the host's death. Every guest comes under suspicion in this dark cinematic debut. So it sounds like Clue, sounds like And Then There Were None a little bit, except I don't think like people are dying one by one. But I had to get it. I just had to get it. So I'm excited to try this one very soon. The hard part about book hauls, though, guys, is I literally want to throw my entire TBR out the window. Like, I've kind of ignored my my October TBR, I'm not going to lie. But, like, it makes me just want to be like, forget TBRs, I'm just going to read what I want, and I'm just going to go through all of these really fast. But I know that's not going to actually happen, but I really want to read, like, all of these so badly. So let me know if there's any books on this list that you're excited for or any of them that you've read. Let me know down below, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye, everybody.